and welcome to the Delusional Boyfriend Book Club, where if loving a cyborg is wrong, I don't want to be right. My name is Courtney, and I'll be your host. And today I'm joined by Jessica, aka the Cozy Wolf. Hi, Jessica. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Thank you so much for joining me today. We're doing a bonus episode for September 2025. We're reading the BL manga Black Blood, which is by Hayate Cuckoo. Is that how you're saying the name?
Oh, did we say the name? Hayate Cuckoo.
So forgive us for obviously probably not pronouncing that right, but that's a story we're going to get into. But first, I just want to say welcome, Jessica. I love your channel so much. It's been so fun being mutuals. Like the whole social media like community around the BL space is probably the reason I'm doing all of this. Like once I realized how vibrant and fun everybody was, I just wanted to contribute and get to know people. So it's been really fun following your channel, and I love seeing you in that space. Can you tell us how you got into the content creation and the BL journey that you've been on?
Yeah, okay. So, well, thank you for having me. First off, super awesome. This is my first podcast, so it's very exciting. My very first BL was actually a manga series called the Finder series. This was back in high school, circa 2009, 2010. Finder series is pretty dark. It's definitely from the 90s, that era of like long hands, toxic top, bottom who doesn't know how to do anything. But either way, one of my friends had it. We all passed it around the friend group. I didn't think much of BL at that time, just that my friends liked it, so I should like it, kind of thing. Lived in a Christian home, which came with its own challenges for BL and trying to get into that space, especially in high school. So sneaking those books into my house, absolute no go. I'd be reading Jujo Romantica and 10 Count in the cafeteria room before quickly passing the book on to my next friend. So all during 8-hour period, 8 to 4. That's what I got. And it's in the middle of classes, obviously. Anyway, so after high school, I lost that friend group, but the one passion that remained was K-pop, which led me down the trail of shipping and fan fiction until I finally found manhwa. This was probably when I was around 24. First stumbled upon Painter of the Night, so I claimed
Before that,
Painter of the Night.
who was the K-pop group and who were you shipping?
Oh, BTS and okay, wait. BTS was like end of college, but my first K-pop group was DBSK.
Okay.
And I was shipping Jaejoong with Yuno at the time. BTS I didn't ship with anyone, but they were definitely like, I was in the fandom. So like I knew what was happening there. I was quite excited.
Part of my journey into BL was absolutely also like finding, and this was my like entrance into K-pop as well, was finding clip edits of Hyun links like Felix and Hyunjin. I don't say all their names right,
Stray
but
Kids?
yes, Stray Kids. And so then I was like, oh my God, I have to get into K-pop. And then the manhwa and the K-pop like always follow each other because I think the algorithm knows if you're like getting into Korean stuff, it starts showing you Korean skincare and manhwa and K-pop. And it's like, you'll love
Korean
this.
skincare. So anyway, that was 24. Stumbled upon Painter of the Night. First ever BL. Didn't stick with it. 20s was a whole bunch of stuff. You know, life, job changes, marriage. All of that happened in my 20s, so nothing was being read during that time period of my life. Stumbled back into reading 2 years ago, remembered Painter of the Night, then that's when I fell headfirst into the BL rabbit hole, discovering titles like The Ghost Nocturne, Low Tide and Twilight were some of my first. After that, gave way too much money to Tappa's Lesson and Tappy Tune at that point. But yeah, so on and off relationship with BL, but now I'm here, fully obsessed, making videos. Yeah, I like to claim that this is like my BL reading diary. So you'll see anything from new stuff, completed stuff, recommendations, reactions, all the stuff.
I love that because getting into this space, it was like I wanted to start creating to slow down how much I was reading because you can
Mhm.
read so much and spend so much money on these platforms to get all these stories. And
Yes.
if you're not talking to somebody about it, they all start to blur together. And it's so fun to have that reading diary where you're like, this is what I read, this is how I felt. Clearly, I'm into black flags right now. Clearly, I'm into
Exactly.
golden retriever tops right now. Clearly, I'm into gangsters right now, and like be able to explore. Sometimes I think I can even like look back at my videos and be like, oh, it's clearly like pissy and on my period here, and I was clearly like ovulating there because I was so
When
into
I
this
cry in a
character.
manhwa just for no reason whatsoever besides the fact that they got together, that's probably a week that I had a
That's
problem.
yep, that's 5 days before your period, and it's like I just love that. Yeah, that whole I don't know. It's like a little therapy and it's a little like meditative journaling thing to create this content and be here sharing it and getting into the journey kind of late. I definitely wanted to like record some of my reactions to stories that people, for example, I have not read Painter of the Night yet because I want to
Oh,
do it for book
it's going in
club.
physical. Are you getting it?
I'm going to get the physical. So I'm going
Okay.
to do it next year for the book club when the physical comes out. And then that way I can do like a whole episode on the first physical and then another episode when the next one comes out and break it up a little bit. So I'm really
Yes.
excited about that. But it was fun. It's been fun to like capture that journey, kind of catching up to everybody who's been doing this for years. Because my high school in Montana, we were not I had a class of 13 kids, including myself, and
Oh
nobody
goodness.
was passing manga around the cafeteria, especially not BL. Like
That
nobody,
was-
none of us knew
and
what
it
that
was the
was.
wrapped stuff too.
Oh my God.
I
And
was
I
like,
mean, I would have been ravenous for it. I would have been if I knew it existed. But we were like, here in Montana, we get everything decades behind everyone else. We're so sheltered. It's so boring. So I'm so glad that I get to like catch up with everybody now. Would you say that Painter of the Night is one of your top favorites? Who is your all-time favorite delusional boyfriend? Who are those top stories that you can't get rid of that you think every new BL reader should read?
okay, so you didn't say every new BL reader because that
Well,
changes my answer.
if they're your top delusional boyfriend, I fear the world must know them.
Oh. All right, well, my first boyfriend. Okay, well, here. Okay, wait. All right, so I have two. And I'm
Okay.
going to take them from my comfort reads. One of
Okay.
them is a novel, the other is a manhwa.
Okay.
Raymond from The Bad Life. You may know the manhwa of that. It's on Tabby. And Nanmu from Miscreants and Mayhem, which you recently did a video, which I
Mhm.
loved. Okay, I agree. I agree with your opinion. All right. Nanmu is the character I really love from Miscreants and Mayhem. And I just love that he wanted a family from the very beginning. And he fought to protect people he loved, even at the cost of losing his like virginity down there. But his journey was just so heartbreaking to the point of like losing self confidence. So like when Pilgrim actually comes into play and says like, "Hey, I'm here to encourage you, to love you, to save you," I just love that Nanmu was vulnerable enough to let him in. I mean, he's a family man, protector, relatable in terms of self confidence issues, at least for me anyway. So yeah, I loved
Yes.
him.
He's
Uh,
sexy. He knows what he likes. He like, yeah, he's willing to just like give his all to the
mhm,
person that he loves in any way. If Pilgyun told him he wanted him to disappear and never come back, or he wanted him to drop dead, he would have done it. He would have
he
loved
would
him
do
in
it.
whatever way Pilgyun wanted him to love him, and
Exactly.
he would have been that person he needed him to be, whether it was his dad or his lover or his best friend or his only friend or his partner in crime. He will be anything for him, and I loved it.
Yeah.
I love that that's your answer. But the other story I've never even heard of, so it's called The Bad
Oh,
Life.
the bad life.
What?
And okay, so it's bad. Raymond has a bad life. I don't really want to go into the details of the story. That's
Okay.
not what this is. But,
Okay, so okay.
let's not do 2 stories in one podcast, okay? But
Should I put it on my, to make this simple, should I put it on my list? Should I bump it up my list? Or is it an I cannot recommend to everybody's story?
I can't recommend this one to everyone. In fact, when you said
Okay.
first stories or first readers in your question, I was like, I don't know. This one is not for everyone. Not for
Not
everyone at
everyone
all.
needs this.
When I say it's a bad life, it is a bad life.
Oh my God.
Raymond is like this. Okay, so what makes him stand out is the fact that he has this vulnerability as well as unshakable determination. He's someone who's endured years of isolation and manipulation from his mom. Then later,
Okay.
a whole slew of other people get into play here. And instead of breaking, Raymond channels all of that pain in this relentless will to survive and take revenge on everyone who's given him pain. And he has this fighting spirit of never backing down. And his story, because like I said, this is a novel, so that's what I know it from. It spans many, many years. Like he's 30 by the time we end it. And
Wow.
he does lose that fighting spirit a couple different times, but the way he's able to just pick himself back up again time and time again, like he ends up helping 2 of his lack of better term captors. He shows them empathy and compassion for their own trauma. Like he's just a man who forgives and fights and doesn't back down, and when you need him to stay, he stays.
Ah,
Even if you don't know it yet.
Scrappy, complex, determined. I love a man like that. So is this a novel like a Western novel, just a fiction novel?
No, so this is a Korean BL
Korean
novel. You
Okay.
can find it over on Riddy Books.
Okay.
I can teach you how to translate it. But yeah, you can. It took me 2 weeks to read all of it. It's like 12 volumes, including the side stories. But yeah, it's just I love a strong main character. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like just love someone who's gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna take on the world and no one's gonna stop me. Like,
Someone with like an unshakable spirit, even even when they're angry, even when they're rampaging, they're just like their spirit shines through. That is absolutely like the key to a delusional boyfriend. And I think Namo is also like that, where no matter what's happening to him, like he has a fire and a purpose in his life, and he is going to like get back and protect what he loves, and he lives for that purpose. Which does bring me to, I loved, so for this story, Black Blood, you sent me some voice note reactions as you read along, and that was so much fun. So I'm really excited to get into that and talk about some of our boyfriends from this, because I think we too have the question of what is that spirit, like what makes a soul, is the question that this Cyborg story presents to us. And I think that is what we learn in the end, is that like you fall in love with somebody's spirit, you fall in love with that essence of them, that kernel or that spark inside them, that is their who they truly are, and that gusto they put into protecting the things they care about in this life. Yeah, so I'm so excited to jump into this. So we've got Black Blood. Our tropes in this are going to be sci-fi. Do you read a lot of sci-fi? Do you like a lot of sci-fi?
I love Star Wars.
I could answer that question exactly the same. And I used to not love Star Wars. I actually hated sci-fi so much. I just found it so boring, and my ADHD would just lose it. So I was nervous about this one because it starts off pretty heavy in the sci-fi, and then it moves into the romance pretty quickly. We lose some of that like heavy sci-fi science elements.
Yeah,
as we like
we
focus.
do. It's a problem.
I know you had some thoughts on that. So in this, the tropes for this are definitely going to be sci-fi. So we're on a different planet. We have a cyborg human relationship. So you might call that like interspecies. We've got forced proximity because they're living in this like space station together on this planet called Peridot. We've got an age gap, I'm sure, because our character, Mihail, which we were going to talk about how to pronounce Mihail, but that's how I'm pronouncing it.
Mihail. Okay, got it.
So we have that character who's a human, who seems like he's probably early 20s. And then we've got our cyborg character who has like he used to be a human and he's lived long enough to like fight in all these wars and have all of his body parts replaced. So he has got to be way older. So I'm pretty sure we have
Oh
age gap
yeah,
here.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Right.
He's
Right.
definitely older.
And then we've got, let's see, am I missing any other tropes?
Um, no, I don't think so. It's pretty good. Pretty good, yeah. I mean, like, it's just a cyborg and a human. I mean,
And I
you
would
have
say,
like it's the cyborg is kind of stoic and the human is very like not necessarily outgoing but positive. He has that
yeah,
like
yeah. So
I'm
we've
gonna
got,
be optimistic.
yeah, and maybe we've got like a shy character, introvert, extrovert happening here maybe
Hmm.
as well. And you asked me in your voice notes who I thought these characters, like what roles they filled, and I thought that Mihail the human kind of fulfilled the brains of the operation, and then
Oh yeah.
the cyborg Ethan in the end, he kind of actually is the heart of the operation, and he like learns to love to kind of complete the whole package of everybody on this ship. So I feel like, yeah, that introvert extrovert dynamic, and that like the brains of the operation meets the bronze, but the bronze isn't really just the bronze. He's also the heart. They're both kind of the heart. I don't know. So we've got those kind of
Considering he's a cyborg and he has a heart, that's crazy.
exactly,
Exactly.
exactly.
Like, he
But
has no heart really, but
right?
you know what I mean?
Yeah, so like our themes here, our tropes here are kind of like this exploration of the human soul, the human heart. We've got it's all fluffy, all green flag, no trigger
Mhm.
warnings, no toxicity. The spice level is kind of mid. It's like we get two scenes,
It's so
so
hard with manga. I don't think I've
yeah,
ever seen a manga that goes like heavy into
cra-
the spice, like to
that
the
goes
point like you can
crazy.
compare it to a manhwa. You know what I
No,
mean?
yeah, no,
So
it
yeah.
very very rarely. So those are all of our kind of tropes going into this. I thought that the artwork was really different. Did you think the artwork was like quite unique?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't really pay much about the art, to be honest.
No, it's like
I just like as long as it's not like sloppy. You know what I mean? Like when you have like the where you can see like their lines around the outline, like it
mhm.
looks like they just drew it onto the page. But no, this it's fine. I
it,
liked it. I thought
and
it was cute.
I thought it was super cute, and it's not, I don't know, a lot of the times we see a lot of this like very effeminate drawing, and I thought this one took a different like, it's not, I wouldn't call it cartoony, but it's like got a little bit different. I just thought it had a little bit different feel to it, which was, yeah, I think cute is a good word. It wasn't quite like, I wouldn't say the art was beautiful, but I would say that it
Yeah.
was like had this gritty kind of sci-fi element, and the characters are very like mechanical, like the whole scenery is very mechanical, and the art kind of gives that vibe, less so than this style of like very
Yeah,
like
where it's like you
femi.
want to put it up on your wall and like
Yeah.
admire it for the rest of your days. No, this I definitely think like the bold outlines on all of the characters, things like that, like they really delve into like the dark colors when it needs to be, and it's especially around the cyborgs. So
Yes.
yeah, it's a really it's good art style. It gets the
Yeah.
story across. It's not distracting from the plot.
And you're right. So our characters here, we've got a botanist and like a soldier. And so
Mhm.
when it's the soldier stories, we do have a lot more of the dark shading and the darkness around like the cyborg blood, which is black blood. And then when it's the botanist, it is very light, and it's like his little bottles of specimens of plants aren't shaded in. It's all very light. So I did really appreciate this art, and even though it's not like this style, which is probably like my preferred, like femi, very pretty, beautiful style, I am just saying, looking at that cyborg's back, I'll take it any day. And I
It
would
was
frame,
something. That first shot, I was like, okay,
girl,
I
I
know
will
what
frame that.
Mihail is thinking right now.
I think I might frame that because I was like, damn. I was like, damn, I never looked at a robot spinal cord like that before. Who knew that was my
You never
thing?
see a spine. It's all covered with skin most of the time.
Yes, and yeah, so that's
So
the
it's
thing.
like exotic.
We've got a cyborg here, and the only remnants left of him are his spinal cord and his neurons, his neural
Yeah,
transmitters, his nerve,
yes, neural network and spine is what they call it.
and his
I wrote
spine.
it down.
And damn, that spine he got sexy. Makes you wonder what his human form looked like before he was a cyborg. Because I'm like, the spine's all we got left. It's holding up, buddy. It looks great.
Yeah.
So, with all of that being said, let's start from the beginning. And Jessica, will you take us through Black Blood?
Okay, yeah. So, Black Blood is about Mihal, our human, and our cyborg, Ethan. Ethan is kind of like on a hiatus from the war at the moment. He's going to this backlands planet uh, to just relax, kind of get away from the war because
Mm-hmm.
he's traumatized. We find that out later, but he is this this land this planet that Mihal is on is a dome, and everywhere around that dome is too much oxygen for the human to breathe. For once, it's like, oh, we finally have too much
Too much
oxygen.
oxygen.
But yeah, so that causes problems. They all have to stay in this dome. Everything that they use outside of the dome has to be ceramic coated, which so happens to be Ethan.
What he's
And
doing is.
so Ethan and Mihal meet up at this dome, and Mihal finally gets permission to go outside of the dome using a special suit that only allows him outside for like 40, 50 minutes. And Ethan gets to be his partner to get him outside the dome. So they have quite a few different dates. I like to call them dates just because like they're the only ones out there. So
And it
but
kind
they
of
have
is
like
like
really cute moments.
it's kind of
Yeah.
like a bodyguard dynamic with
Mhm.
which you have to love a bodyguard dynamic. Like when a K-pop star has a bodyguard who's like always protecting them, like, ooh, that always does it for me.
Yeah. And he's so Ethan is he's a cyborg. He feels like he has no emotions to cling on to. So Mihal at first is like this very excited. He's like just out of the dome. He's talking about the leaves. He's talking about plants. He's a botanist. Did we say that? I don't remember. But either way,
A
so he's
botanist.
talking, going nuts over these plants. And there's this one moment where Ethan is just like, dude, ow. Like, you need to slow down. You're talking way too fast. I'm like not comprehending. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And it's just a really cute scene because like Ethan's like trying to like interact with him. He thinks of Ethan as a human. Like
Mm-hmm.
they are on the same level to him. And that is just beautiful. Just like totally like we're not talking about racism really so much, but just like that was cool. So
Yes,
I like always want to make note of those types of things.
yeah, he accepts him as like fully human. And the other thing I love about this dynamic, it reminds me of like, I don't know, my husband definitely is somewhere on the autistic spectrum, and I have extreme ADHD. And so this dynamic of Mihail just like talking and like being super hyper and super excited and being like, aren't you excited? Like, I love talking to you. I just want to talk to you because I like being around you and I want to tell you everything that I'm thinking of. And then this other character who's just like, I don't know what you want me to think about any of the stuff you just said. I don't know that I care about
It's
any
so
of that.
true.
And I'm just like, yeah, I love that. There's ADHD people and there's autistic people and they marry each other. And this
Yeah.
is like,
It's the perfect dynamic to be honest. Because it's so cute because as they go on, it's Mihel who ends up initiating a
yep,
lot of it. Like
yep.
uh physical moments of intimacy. When Mihal sees in the locker room Ethan's spine for the first time, he's like fascinated by it. He's like, whoa, can I touch that? And Ethan's like, why would you want to touch? Like, I'm just a cyborg. But then when he touches him, he's like, ooh, human, soft. I don't remember that. Like he's so like, oh, the way Mihal is just like so fascinated, like, oh, metal, cold, like, but Ethan, he's having this full-on breakdown. He spurts out hydraulic fluid, and it's like comparison and nervousness. So he gets his next journey is coming to terms that he has feelings for Mihal. And um it really comes into play during their second or third time out. Ethan has to take Mihal and run with him back to the dome to protect him. And because there's this storm coming. And that's when I think Ethan's like, oh, I have feelings for this man. I don't know what to do with those feelings. Let me
Mm-hmm.
talk to someone. He talks to their like maintenance guy, Hawk, and their maintenance guy is like, you love that man. You love him so much. You have an incurable disease. I am not changing no parameters on you. You're gonna have to confront this like right now.
I just love the like whole crew has clocked them both so quick. The whole crew sees them interact and they're like, "Oh, you guys like each other." And they're like,
Mhm.
"Wait, what? What?" And it's like, "No, you like each other." And I think it's so cute because they do like each other to different degrees too. And it did remind me, I like this question of like the interspecies dynamic because I think sometimes like in relationships, you can have somebody who's like high sex drive and someone who's low sex drive, or somebody who's asexual and somebody who is hypersexual, and somebody who's demisexual and somebody who is whatever. And as long as you're willing to like figure out what the other person's speed is and you're like willing to learn their speed, like regardless of the fact that this cyborg like doesn't hasn't had these feelings in forever. He's springing leaks. He doesn't even have genitalia. He doesn't know what to
Yeah.
do with these. He doesn't know what to do with these feelings. And this human, on the other hand, is also like feel like you can see he's going to reciprocate these feelings, but they're going to feel it at different speeds. And this moment where he's like, I don't want to feel it at all. I don't want to feel it at all. And the doctor, the maintenance guy is like, you have to like when
It's life, you know?
when love happens, when love
Yeah.
comes out of nowhere, you just are forced to deal with it. Even if you thought you're a person who didn't need love or didn't need romance, like when it drops in your lap, you kind of gotta figure out where to put it in your life. And I thought that was so sweet because they're such different experiences, such different feelings. They're when they're around each other, they like you can see the bedumps in their heart and the heart flutters, but
Oh,
they're
the
all different.
badumps.
Yeah, the dumps always get me, but they're like experiencing it in different ways. Like he's springing a leak, and then the like Mihail is like blushing, and meanwhile the cyborg can't blush. He doesn't have cheeks, and when he finally kisses him, he's like, "I hope that's where your mouth is," and they're just so different. But the thing
He's
is,
like, you
like,
can kiss me anywhere. I'm like,
what?
anywhere.
It does not matter how different we are as long as we like worship each other, as long as we like figure out
Exactly.
how to love each other and like make each other feel good. It doesn't matter how different we are. And it just that was so sweet to me.
It's perfect. Takao, like Mihal does his own journey. He figures out his feelings. He gifts Ethan a plant, and one of these plants, the plants are special because they're
Mhm.
from Earth. They're not hybrid. They are the real deal. And there's this next moment where Mihal talks to one of the robots about his feelings.
Mhm.
And he says some of the here, let me see if I can find the tab. But he mentions this plant and how Ethan is worried about it. He's like, "Oh, it's just so sweet to see him be cute." And he compares him to a bird and the way his eyes in the lights. Oh, here I found. Okay, the way the tint of his visor gets a little lighter when he's bashful, and how he's kind of a worrywart. And then they show the plant and how he's like, "Oh, it's flowering. What do I do now?" Like Ethan, so worried. And then Mihail compares Ethan to how he tilts his head ever so slightly to the side. He's like a little bird, and it's just so sweet. So then he comes to terms with his feelings in his own way, and it they have that kiss, and it's just beautiful because yeah, it's just nice. And then so they get these plants from the dome. They bring
Uh-huh.
them or from the outside of the dome. They bring them inside. There's an explosion that happens in the lab, and Mihel is there. Ethan, he's like, "We just kissed. I'm not letting this boy go." So he's running, he's dashing, he's listening to no one telling him that Mihel is okay, his life leader's good. Like, no, he is on a mission to protect his man. He picks him up. Another explosion happens, black blood everywhere. Okay, like not Ethan has 54% left of his body alive, like right. And he pushes Mihal away because he knows another explosion is about to happen. And he's so cruel, but like it's so cruel because he's like, "I'm not like you." And he like pushes him away. Rita is another robot that comes and grabs him and runs him outside. And then the next time we see him, Ethan is in like this tube that's similar to Star Wars, where like isn't the thing with the like gas mask.
Yep.
He has a thing. Mihal is there. And I have this theory that the mechanic out don't know if I can say this. Is this
You
allowed?
did. I
He's
love
like,
this. Yes, I love this theory. So she sent me this voice reaction when we have this big explosion. And it should be said, so when they had their first kiss, then it's like the next day they go home and they make out, and then he like the cyborg jerks off the other guy, and then
yeah,
they send him his buddies, like the other cyborgs send him like a little ad about what different kind of penis attachments he can get. So
yes.
they had been joking around about that before the explosion. So I get this voice memo from Jessica, and she's like, okay, this explosion feels real convenient to me.
Mhm.
Tell us your
He
theory.
lost 54% of his body, and one of those body parts is the part that Hawk sent him a little ad for, and that got replaced.
So he like wakes up. So
And they
Ethan,
had fun with it.
oh yes,
Mihal was super excited. Ethan's there. They're like, let's do this.
it was
Their
that
relationship is
moment
so
where
sweet.
Ethan like wakes up in his tube, and he's like in this medical tube. He realizes he's still alive, and the first thing he does is look for Mihal. And
Mm-hmm.
the doctor's like, Mihal's right there, and Mihal's sleeping on the bottom of his tube, like waiting for him to wake up. And when they both like meet eyes and acknowledge each other that they're both still alive, the very next thing that happens is that Mihal clocks that he now has a wiener,
Yeah.
and he's just like, well, that's new. And
Yeah.
you're like, Mihal is such a power bottom. And he's like a
He
virgin, but
is.
he absolutely is a power bottom. He's like, oh, honey, like we're gonna figure out how to use that one
You
way or
should touch
another.
me. Oh my god, I should touch you. Like in their first makeout session, who's the
Mhm.
one doing all the moves?
Mihal.
Mihal.
It's
He's the power bottom.
the whole time he's like, I'll teach you. If you don't have a natural inclination for the spicy stuff, I'll show you what I want. And he does. And then, yeah, so he gets outfitted with this brand new penis. And they call that chapter, what do they call it? Enhanced Ethan or something like
Oh,
that.
really? I
Yeah,
didn't
they're
even
like,
look at the chapter
the name
name.
of the chapter down at the bottom is like, um, oh yeah, it's something like that. Enhanced Ethan. And I was like,
Oh
that
my gosh. That's
that's
it's literally what happens to him though too. So
he's completely enhanced. So we've got him with his new penis. They get it on, and Mihal is like, "So it's sad you can't shower with me, but I got myself all ready for you." And it's like, okay,
and here
Mihal.
Ethan's like trying to research everything and anything about how two people can have sex. Oh my gosh, it's nuts.
And we learn that his new fixture is also attached with
Mhm.
all the working properties. So when they finish, he like finishes. He like
Yes.
there's waterworks, and I just love that in the end he gets to be fully human. And then they go back to the explosion where his arm had gotten blown off, and Mihail
And they
buries the
bury
arm.
it.
And Mihail is like, and Ethan's like, it's just a piece of robot arm. Like, it's not even me. It doesn't matter. We don't need to bury it. And Mihail goes, that might be what it means to you, but to me, it is a part of the man that I love. And he's like, you're human to me, and this is part of your body, and I care about every part of you. And he just
It
like,
hits the heartstrings, man. He's like, "Oh, this is the arm that protected me." I'm like, "Oh, yes." Oh,
yes. That was so sweet. And Mihail just like being so insistent the whole time. He's like, you are human. Like, you are human. To me, you're human, and you are
you have a
human.
spirit. You have a
Yes.
personality. Like
Yep.
this is who you are. He even compares it to plants at one point on the planet. He's like,
Yeah.
even though we think that these plants are dead, it's just our comprehension.
Yeah.
Like it's just limited. We
They're
can't do it.
they're composed of ingredients we don't have on our periodic table. That doesn't mean that they aren't valid and here existing for a purpose. And just because you're not made out of the same components humans are made out of, just because you're not made out of like blood and muscle anymore, doesn't make you less human, and like doesn't
Yeah.
make you less alive or your life any less purposeful or your fate and your destiny any more magic, just because you're different, because you're made out of metal instead of flesh and bone. I loved it. It was cute. It was really cute. And so that's where it ends. And I don't think we're getting a volume 2. Do
No,
you?
it's only one volume. There's no numbers.
There's no numbers. But you know,
I'm a bit upset about it.
sometimes they'll do like old fashioned cupcake with cappuccino. And so like maybe we'll get black blood with cappuccino. Like maybe we'll
I sure hope so. Like I would love to see more of this world. Like the world that they build in this is just little bit more. And here I said I didn't like sci-fi. So
And I also am like not that big of a fan of sci-fi, but so this is set in the year like 3050 in a planet called Peridot, and we have some questions asked at the beginning of this, which you brought up in your voice memos to me, where you're like, okay, so they bring up the reason that they're at this planet is because of that they're trying to discover the origin of species. We
yeah.
never return to that question. What is the origin of species? Why does that matter? Also,
And
there's a
Mihel's job isn't even to find the origin of species. He's
no,
just a botanist. He
he's
even
just
says to
researching.
Ethan, like, "Oh, I don't know anything about that. I'm just here to plant."
Yeah. So I'm like,
Like,
it's almost less sci-fi driven than it is like coworker office romance because it's
yeah,
like they're just like working in a research lab and like we don't know anything about the war, which you brought up as well. You're like, we see that he's traumatized. We see that he has this flashback when he's carrying Mihail's body where he's like, just like in the war, I have to protect what's precious to me. Well, what was precious to you in the war? I thought you were just a weapon. So like,
yeah.
was there something
Well,
more to your past?
what was precious? He had a girlfriend at one point, but he doesn't remember her. So, like,
Yeah,
how would he know that there was something precious to protect if he doesn't even remember his girlfriend? Like, what was is there a
there's
family
that.
member that he really liked? You also don't see any humans in the war because Ethan
Yeah,
describes that the war is cyborg fighting cyborg. It's
cyborg.
gotten
Mhm.
so intense that it's machine fighting machine, and you're seeing all this black blood everywhere. And that's what traumatizes him is seeing all this is he's like he's killing his own kind, which I mean, yeah, war horrible, right? Because
It's
like
very much
humans
like
fighting humans bad too, but like
it's the
where are the humans and why are they fighting anyway if they're not even doing the fighting themselves? Like you would think
yeah.
a general or something would be human. Like
This
I don't know.
to bring it back to Star Wars, unfortunately, this is very much giving Clone Wars, which is like,
Yes.
okay, so we're destroying full planets. We're having robots fight robots or clones fight clones, and there's all this bloodshed. The planets are being blown up. There's whole civilizations being destroyed, and who is responsible for all that damage? And like, what do we owe to these robots and these clones and these droids? What do we owe to them when we're just making them
What's
purposely
so
for war?
important? Yeah.
Mhm. What is so important that we can't even be present for the fight, but we insist that
Mhm.
the fight goes on.
I
And
mean, at
so
least the Jedi showed up in Star Wars.
yes, and so it does make me think, it makes me hope that we're going to get like Black Blood to
Part two.
Electric Boogaloo, where it's like, okay, so here's what happened in the war. This is what's going on in the world. Um, we found a plant that fixes everything, and now everyone can live happily. And since cyborgs can get pregnant, we get M-Preg with Ethan, and Mihail
Literally.
actually gets Ethan pregnant, and we get the top getting pregnant, and we live happily ever after. And that's my dream world. So I'm going to like be delusional and say that we're going to get a volume 2, and
Yeah.
for God's sake, if the author is out there and someone can get a note to them, please just tell them we would like a volume 2 with with Cyborg Preg,
Yes,
please.
I need impreg. Impreg all the way. Even if they because he said just body parts. So even Michal could possibly become a little cyborg himself, get that
He
little wound
with
going.
a little womb going. And so then the question is, would they be hybrid babies or would they be full I
Maybe.
just
Who
I,
knows? That would be fun.
I'm just
I
saying.
just
So please, Lord, universe, author, whoever hears my plea and my prayers, give us the cyborg preg, give us the hybrid cyborg robot babies. We
we
don't
want
ask
it.
for a lot.
It's not a lot really. Just write a whole other story, get a publisher to publish it, translate it to English in a
Market
decent
it.
amount of time, please, so I can remember this story. Like that's another story. That's another thing that I want to say is my question to you
Uh-huh.
is would you remember this story a year from now? Is it that good?
Okay, so here's the thing is like the plot. First of all, I like the art. I thought it was fun and unique, but it's not my favorite art. Like that, I didn't think it was like so gorgeous, mind blowing. The plot, like you said, it's secondary to the romance. Like they drop the plot off pretty quickly. The romance itself, we only get this like one hand job scene and one sex scene. And then as far as like side characters, we're not having a lot going on. Like there's no
They
side
don't talk about him
couple.
very much. I was
No,
trying to create roles for them, and then they never fulfilled their roles that I made for them at the beginning of the story.
no,
And I
they
was like,
didn't
okay,
really come back, which is why I'm like, okay, well, we could like get a second book where we realize that like two of them are robot banging or something. So I absolutely agree. Like this is it might be kind of a mid story
yeah,
if it wasn't my first cyborg. Like I got to see robot bod, and I don't
true.
know, I like this robot bod, and I was like, maybe I'm into Cyborg. So I would only remember it because it's my first Cyborg story. So it's kind of like whatever your first Omega verse was, which like
Yes.
unfortunately for some of us it was Love is an Illusion, and
Oh,
now
thank
I'm like,
goodness it wasn't mine.
yeah, so I'm like, well, that unfortunately it might be the worst one, and
It's yours, so
it's also
it's
my
the
first.
greatest thing in the world.
I'm like, yeah, do I like a million other Omega verses more? Yes. Does this one have a very weird, like, shotgun seat in my BL car because it was one of the first ones I read? Sure does. So, like, the
Yeah.
cyborg story, I think will always, this one I'll always kind of like because I'm like, oh, that's the day I realized I would definitely make out with a robot. I don't know if
The
I've ever read,
nostalgia is gonna be with you forever.
yeah. Do you have
I
any other robot stories?
um so my first robot encounter was an android 18 from Dragon Ball Z, and she ended up dating Krillin. So that's my first one. And
You're like,
I was
"Hmm,
just
been
I
there."
was just thinking, like, I was trying to compare this to that a little bit. And it's okay. Like their baby turned out great. It was practically human. So but yeah, that's probably my first robot and human. But I think it's a mid story. I would
It's a little
agree.
mid.
I think if there wasn't a nostalgia, I would forget about it.
Yes. Like,
So good thing I got it in physical, so it'll always be on my shelf.
so like show the cover of this. So I read it on my Kindle, so I can't like pull it up easily. But if you look at this also, if it wasn't marketed super well, this was
Hmm.
pushed all over social media. I saw so many other people reading it. It was like in Barnes and Nobles when they don't get all the new releases. Like if I'd seen that on the shelf and it hadn't been marketed to me, I don't know that I would have picked it up.
Well,
So
you
I
didn't even like sci-fi, so you probably would see robot and be like, forget that.
yeah, and Mihail is not my type. Like he's not that cute. The cyborg I didn't think was cute until I saw his muscle, like his cyborg muscles, which
And
whew,
then it's sexy. It's not cute.
yeah, that is
It's like,
sexy.
woo.
But it is one of those where I'm like, this one could have flown under my radar forever if I didn't see everyone else reviewing it and talking about it. It was
Literally.
a quick read and it was like a fun, quick one shot, like,
Mhm.
especially for a bonus episode. I think this was fun. But yeah, overall, like, I could recommend this to everyone because it has no trigger warnings. It's
Oh
cute, it's
yeah,
fast,
green
it's
flag
easy.
all around.
But like, is it a top all time favorite? No. Is it like a yeah, is it gonna get like am I gonna buy all the merch from it or whatever? Is it even gonna get merch? Probably
Well,
not.
like, where's the that's one side of the L I haven't gone into is manga merch. I have tons of manhwa. I mean, all you can see is my calendar, but
I
like I
feel
have manhwa. Okay.
it's funny because the manga industry is like a $4 billion industry or something, and the manhwa industry is like a $400 million industry. Way smaller, but I feel like it's so well centralized. I feel
Mhm.
like the fact that it's all available in full color and on these like websites that have easy translation, like I think its growth factor and potential is so huge that might be a little bit at the like it's I don't
It's
know.
easily accessible.
It's super easily accessible. It's on a consistent release date. Instead of having to wait for physical releases to come out in our language years later, we have
Hmm.
these artists who are held to really strict timelines and have to get it to Webtoons or Legend or Tapas or whatever on time. So we have this like super consistency. Um, but yeah, it's just that we also have in all of the manhwa, we have like the oh, I forgot all the names of them, but like Coon Tunes and all the
Oh,
different
Tappy Tune, Lezen,
but
Tapas,
no, the
uh,
merch website, is it called, uh,
oh, Coon Books,
Coon Books?
Harumio, like
Yes,
proxy sites. It
yes.
is more difficult to get merch if you're going directly, but you can use a site called Delivered Korea. Love them.
I
They
didn't know this.
you they give you a that's how I get everything. So they give you a Korean address. So any of the Korean sites you can ship it to this Korean address. They package it all up for you, obviously, but then
And
they
then
ship it to you. And so if you're like on Jamie Shop or even the Naver site, like you can just go in, print box, all those types of things. You can just send everything to Deliver Korea, put in your little address, ship it to them. So yeah, it's great. Like there's obviously some like it'd be good to have a Wise account, a PayPal account, maybe a credit card and a debit card that you can easily transfer fast to. But like, yeah, it's great. I love it.
You have both made
I
my
can teach
day.
you if you want. Tell me what you want to buy one day, and I'll let you know. Because it's better to learn through like doing it. So find something you want to buy, then contact.
You've absolutely like made my day and ruined me financially. So I hope you can take that with you.
Not to self promo here, but I have an unboxing video where it's like this huge box of all this stuff that I accumulated over like 2 months at this Deliver Korea address. And I just open up every single one of them. Acrylic stands, keychains. It was great.
I have not watched
it. It was like Christmas.
I'm gonna have to
Christmas in July.
That is so much fun. I have to absolutely go like crack that code now, because now that I know how to get it, I need more merch. But I do feel like the manhwa, there's just like these centralized ways to do it. Like if that place is out of Korea and they've figured out how to ship internationally, it's just like they push they're good at getting that BL to the masses. They're the BL they're the BL heroes we need and deserve.
It's true.
So who from this story, okay, if you could have a piece of merch from this story, what would it be? Because my piece of merch would be one of those little cyborg penises from the catalog. There's like a weird one. That's the one I would have.
As like a squish, a stress ball.
Or as like a stand. Do you know what's funny?
Oh!
This is what I would have. I have this bookend that my sister, sorry, you probably can't hear me. I have this paperweight bookend that my sister-in-law made me, which is it's a mermaid tail, but tell me what you think it also looks like.
Oh, yeah. Especially right in the back there.
Anyway,
so you want one of those,
but
and just one of the advertisements that were in the book. Yeah, for sure.
There was one that was kind of like hanging down and was like kind of alien looking, and then there was one that had like metal,
has the pearls in it.
It's almost like a Jacob ladder for a cyborg. The pearl.
I wonder if they're interchangeable. Hawk made it seem that it was pretty permanent. It'd be a lot of work to change it out, but I'm like, I kind of want to know if there's like a lock mechanism and be like, oh, I want alien tonight.
I think it's definitely a removable head situation. Yes. So that would be the piece of merch I want. What merch would you want?
So merch I would want would probably be one of the plants. Like if you watch Nintendo, they have this plant that talks now. So I want a plant that does like the bounciness, like all of the things that Mihal was going nuts over. Just so I can have it on my desk. I have like no plants. And if it's a fake plant, even better, because it has to bounce, right? So it has to be fake. So all really the things.
Cute if it was in his little specimen jar that I think has hearts on the outside. I think there's little hearts on the outside of his specimen jar. So if it was just like a little bobblehead plant in there and a little specimen jar, that would be so cute.
And then maybe it can explode.
That would be so fun if it just like filled with black smoke.
Me living in an old house. Can we burn it down?
I love it. No, it would be hilarious though if it did just like once, like a little cuckoo clock. It just filled with black smoke every once in a while. Oh, I absolutely love it.
Oh no! Everyone, run for the hills! Where's Ethan? I need a rescuer.
Save me!
Where's my detector?
Save me, Cyborg! Save me! Oh my god, I love. So maybe this is an obvious question. Who is your delusional boyfriend from this series?
It would have Ethan.
It's Ethan.
Is the man.
It's Ethan all the way.
He's just the man, you know? Like when you think of a man, a man.
If there's an oxygen cloud coming to tear the flesh off my skin, I know who I want running me away from the incident.
It's not Mihal.
It's not Mihal.
Mihal is being carried. I do not want to be carried by the carried, okay?
No, I am me hell. I need to be flown out of this situation
Yes.
if possible. So definitely, Ethan, would you date a cyborg in real life? Not as a human, if there was a cyborg, and this is probably a prominent question with AI taking over the world. If there was a cyborg, would you date him? It can be Ethan. He can be sweet as Ethan, all the same
I would
fixings.
date a cyborg, but here's the reason why. Is because he's still human. He came from, this isn't an AI, you
You're
know?
right.
Like, it's not like something that I created and like
Yep.
it's made life on its own, you know? This is a human who just took every single part of his body and changed it to be mechanical. I would do that. Yeah. I think
You're
so.
totally right.
Yeah.
He's got all of the things that truly
He has
matter.
a soul in all
Yep.
of those. Oh, he'll. Oh. What my voice note? Neural network and spine is where the soul is kept. Everyone, just so everyone
Just so we're
knows, it's
clear.
not the heart. Who cares about the heart? You can replace that with a robot. All right, it's the neural network
And
and the
honestly,
spine.
that's probably the most sci-fi thing that happens in this because it's like, yeah, your emotions, your memories, the feeling of somebody touching you is all kept in your nerves and your nervous system. And that's when you like, that's what you remember, the feeling of like being tickled, like that's your nerves. And so, yeah, maybe the soul is held in the nerves and in the nervous system. And I thought that that question posed at the beginning was pretty funny. Yeah, what do we consider the soul? And we, as in our Western world, it's always the heart. It's the heart. It's the
Yep.
heart. But without the heart, if we just have that spinal cord that makes our brain work, that like captures our memories and tells us if we're in danger or in love, like maybe that is the soul. I love that.
Yes, it was a unique approach.
It
I
was
will give
fun.
it that.
I would definitely also date Ethan IRL just again for the attachments. I definitely want to see what we can affix to his bottom nether region. I think that's an opportunity I would definitely jump on. I'm not passing that up. So yeah, I would definitely date him IRL. Does he eclipse any of my top BL boyfriends? No, because he is not aggressive enough. He does not have a high enough propensity for the spiciness. He is not initiating frequently enough for me. So he doesn't surpass any of my freaky boys with their massive lightsabers, but he's definitely a cutie. I definitely like him. Does he surpass any of your top delusional boyfriends?
No, probably not. And the reason why is because the first time we see Ethan, he's running away from his PTSD. And I'm like, no, my characters don't run. They go head first, all right? Like, something hurts them, they're hurting them back, you know? Like, they're gonna
Yeah.
figure it out. I don't even know, like, I guess they would have some trauma. Obviously, Namu had trauma, but like, he was he was still being a gangster. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I
He
mean?
was
He was
he was
still being known
still
as the guy with the fist.
Yeah, he
So,
was burning shit down to the last minute. And
mhm,
definitely we have Ethan here kind of like in retirement, and
yeah,
him and his botanist lover are just gonna like live in Florida on their golf course and like chill out
it's
and
true.
try new different attachments, new strap-ons, and like they're just chilling. So yeah, not the most exciting couple in the world, regardless of the fact that one of them is a cyborg. So yeah, not
They're very
surpassing anyone.
cozy. They're like a cozy couple. They just don't do much. They just live their life, love each other, and hey, if something bad happens, they'll probably communicate and go on with the rest of their lives, you know?
Yep,
So,
and you and I think we're both like old married maids, and
yes.
we live our cozy romance every day. So sometimes we're like, all right, I could take a little more excitement.
12 years in, we need, okay, all the fun needs
Give
to
me
happen.
something
Actually, the longer
crazy.
you're married, the more fun it is. So get married, peeps.
I literally couldn't agree more. I literally
Yeah.
could not agree more. And I didn't get married to my husband for 8 years. And when I did, I tattooed his name on my ass, and I was like, oh yeah, no, we're definitely, this all steps up a notch,
Yeah.
doesn't it? It's like you crank the volume.
Hmm. Oh, yes.
I
It's so fun to be married.
I hope that in whatever alternative universe, Mihail and Ethan are married with their cyborg babies, and they're just like freaky little freaks. I hope they're like, yeah,
Yes.
swingers on a cruise with an upside down pineapple on their door. I hope they're living their like cozy little happy life. I love that for them.
Exactly.
Well, I'm happy that we read this story. I hope that everybody listening enjoyed it. I had so much fun talking to you, Jessica. I love your channel so
Yeah.
much, and I'm so glad you agreed to come on and talk with me today about this.
Oh, it's been so fun. So thank you again for inviting me. I enjoyed every minute of it. I love the story. Love being able, like, just being able to talk to someone about this. Like, online community is where it's at right now. So
Absolutely.
you are my person. All right.
And this is like exactly what I needed from book club. I was like, okay, the whole idea behind the podcast and the show is if I force my friends IRL to talk about my smut anymore, they will get a restraining order against me. But there's people out there who've already read this
And they
story.
love it. I love it.
Yes. And they want to talk about it. They want me to talk about it. They want to talk back to me. They want to come on the podcast. And like, I don't have to force the unwilling people to like to sit here and look at my naked cartoons. Like, there's somebody out there who loves the same tropes as me. So I've had so much fun following you. I think that everyone should go follow you because your YouTube is incredible. Your vlogs on YouTube are so, so, so well done. And then your socials on TikTok and Instagram are also so much fun to follow. But YouTube is like, you've
Where
really
it's at.
locked that shit down. So can you tell everyone where they can follow you at? And if you have any fun projects or videos coming up?
Oh yeah, for sure. So Cozy Wolf Reads is my YouTube. I do the vlogs, I do the recommendation, I do the diary. That's where I go full depth. I have a vlog coming up for a manhwa, The Search for Alosha, which is Impre fantasy. And there is a novel with it called The Flower of Alosha. And I did read The Flower of Alosha, have a diary back like May or whatever when I read it. So now we're going to read the manhwa, compare it to the novel, and vlog the sequel.
I love a comparison. And you just did, what was the last comparison you did? Was it Roses in Champagne?
It was Roses and Champagne. Love that story. Oh, dude.
Love that
My
story.
favorite toxic.
It's so
The best.
it's like the worst and the best all at the same time. But it was so fun watching you do the comparisons between the novel and the manhwa. That was like, I
Yeah.
love that. I love that kind
Because
of.
the novels can just give a little bit more. Like they're not locked to panels. You get a full page worth of words. So like obviously you're gonna be more detailed, but like seeing even just a different representation of your characters where they originally came from and how maybe the manhwa adaptation for Roses and Champagne, I thought it was really tame. Like
That's what
like,
everyone told me.
like the guy, the gang is Caesar even a gangster in Roses and Champagne manhwa? I don't know. Like he was definitely in the novel. But yeah, Cozy Wolf Reads, YouTube, Cozy Wolf Reading is my Instagram, and then TikTok is Cozy Wolf. So easy to find me. TikTok is where you'll find all my reactions, current, ongoing stuff. YouTube
And
is where you'll find my completed stuff.
if you're listening on the podcast and not watching us right now, actually, I don't. Yeah, if you're watching us, you probably see your tag. But if you're listening, Cozy Wolf is spelled COZY, then WULFE. So COZYWULFE. So anyways, just if you're hearing this and you're hearing wolf, it's spelled a little bit different. So look her up.
It's like my last name.
Which is, I think that's so fun because my husband's name is Wolf and I love a wolf. So
Yes.
it's been so fun having you. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I hope you enjoyed this bonus episode of Black Blood, the BL manga. If you guys like this episode, make sure that you rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. If you are listening on a podcast app, make sure you turn on automatic downloads so that we pop up in your library. Go follow Cozy Wolf, Jessica, wherever she is on all of her socials. And please join us again next time. And until then, remember, sometimes the delusion
It's the solution.
Bye.